Welcome back to a new episode of Everlasting Summer. Last episode we get to know this new mysterious guy, and we now want to find more about him. So, let's get to do. It's time to find the mysterious stranger and get all the answers. I think we are near to the ending because what episode now we on? Like maybe 20 something? Yeah, and my Steam page said that I play over 10 hours, so oh no. Usually I think virtual novel games are like between 20 to 30 hours, maybe 50 in the most. The first place to visit was the bus stop. After all, this is where it all began. The road was empty as always, only small dust tornadoes were occasionally visible on it. I was ready to turn around and go back to the cab, but then I heard someone whisper, "Don't trust him." Someone was hiding behind the moment. A pioneer was sitting there with his back to me, and once again the voice seemed strangely familiar. "Who are you?" I took a few steps toward him. "Stop! Don't come any closer." For some reason I froze in my track. From somewhere deep inside, the assurance came to me, and I understand that I shouldn't argue with him. "Alright, I'll stay here." "Have you seen him? Talk to him?" he asked nervously. "Who are you even talking about?" He was dressing in pioneer uniform. "You know who?" And I definitely didn't know. He was talking about the weird pioneer I saw earlier. "Yes," I answered after a few moments of silence. "What did he tell you?" So we talking with someone different than the mysterious guy. The pioneer asked in a blatant tone. "Nothing really." "Did he give you advice? Did he tell you what to do? Threaten you?" No, nothing like that." Of course, he seemed pretty weird, but nothing more than that. "Remember, he may not be alone, or more likely, he is alone, but you may meet many pioneers who look like him." "And what about you? Who are you? Who are you hiding from?" "You will understand in time. Just remember, the most important thing is to find the exit." Okay, this is turning very weird. All of a sudden, a strong gust of wind came through, ripping leaf from the tree and throwing an old paper bag into my face. Shielding myself, I averted my eye. When I looked back at the moment, the pioneer was already gone. At the moment, I was overwhelmed by fear. Real, almost thinkable fear. I remember being scared during my first hour at the camp. But back then, everything around me seemed kind and friendly. Now, Sylvanok revealed at the fang, getting ready to eat me. And ahead, the unknown. My body was covered in goosebumps, my throat was dry, and my hands were shaking. I tried to ignore it all and headed back to camp. It was already dinner time, but I had no desire to go to the center. After meeting the second mysterious pioneer, just thinking about the local made me, if not afraid, then at last creep out. I don't even know who or what they all are, and even though nothing had happened yet, it does not mean I can't trust them. I stopped in front of the clubhouse, but then I realized that this is not the best spot to be at. I could run into someone, which was not something I want to do at the moment. Almost running, I hurried toward the forest and walked a few meters along the path before I finally stopped. On one side, the mysterious pioneer. Well, two of them to be precise. On the other, all the other inhabitants of the camp, who seemed absolutely normal. Either way, my decision to stand back and let everything resolve itself was under some serious pressure. At that point, it was clear to me I had to do something on my own. But what exactly? This is getting serious. Everyone is probably having a dinner, so I have a good chance to make it to Olga Tervona place without being noticed. I decided to first take my clothes that I were just arrived along with my cell phone. I won't be able to come up with a solid plan right off the bat, so for the time being I might as well hide in the forest. I leaped up the step and entered the building. My clothes were right where I left them, and my phone was where it was supposed to be, under my pillow. I quickly grabbed it and was ready to stuff it into my pocket, but then I noticed something in the screen. A message window was open. The text read, "You are wrong, Simon. You are so wrong." It felt like my soul had left my body, frozen in the spot. I was shaking and my blood was pumping so hard. It felt like my skull was going to burst open from the pressures. It took at least a full minute for me to come back to sense. Olga de Tervana could have typed in the message, or none of the pioneer. It's easy to figure out how to do it, even if they're not familiar with the technology. But no one beside me should know where I kept the phone. Come on, Olga can clean the place and find us. Okay, she didn't clean her bra for ages, but yeah, okay, I get the point. This event was the straw of the broke of the camel back. I rushed out of the house, determined never to come back here. Night fell on the campground. I had been sitting on the wood for a few hours, trembling at the notice. The spot that I chose was far away from the bed, so it would be hard to find me. I was keeping a few plans in my head for the time being. To try and run, to kill every single person in the camp, oh shit. However, on the other hand, one thought chasing me, and I realized that I shouldn't behave like this because of some strange pioneer or even because of the message on the phone. All of this was reinforced the thought that everything happened here was far from normal. However, there was no proof that anyone in the camp has anything to do with it. I could have stayed here until morning, lost my own thought, but I heard the footsteps coming from everywhere nearby. Oh, the mysterious guy. So you decide to escape after all. I turned around but couldn't see the pioneer face in the dark. Either the sun or the dark. Nevertheless, I was pretty sure that it was him. I wasn't afraid of him. From precisely, I was so physically excited that I was prepared for my possible curse, or even and somewhere managed to reason, appreciate, and to maintain the conversation. I wouldn't call this as an escape. I answered slowly, stretching every word. Huh, then what it is? A tactical retreat. Brilliant! He burst into laughter. Ha ha ha! Listen, why don't you tell me what's going on, who are you, and what you want from me? What did this guy tell you at the gate? It seemed that he didn't even hear my question. He told me not to trust you. I lied. But, on the other hand, I thought that it was what he meant. Well, that's always the way for him. Running away, hiding. I could hear irration in his voice. I'm not sure what kind of circles you are running here, but I am not going to be a part of it. Oh, why not? Oh, you smile, look at this crazy smile. Oh, why not? You are the star after all. Oh, the star. I couldn't see his face, but I bet he was smiling. Explain my part to me then. You know, I was like you in the beginning. The first time everything went peacefully. Then I escaped. I tried to understand what was going on, got mad, and even I tortured them to get the truth. He laughed crazily. I shivered, but it was pointless. Continue. The pioneer after climbed down a bit. Pointless, pointless, and then I began to notice the lips. At first, I just heard their voices from distance and sometimes in my head. Then, a vague still house appeared. Then, they slowly took on physical form, and finally, they stepped into my world. I could touch them, introduce them to other pioneers, and they all were different. Do you got it? Different. He started shouting. And it recurred again and again. You can't get used to the loop, but then I learned how to get into their world by myself, to interact with others. But it turned out that I am not alone. There are a lot of us. Today, you saw at last one more. He fell silent. I didn't know what question to ask and didn't want to interrupt his story, so I simply waited. After a minute, he continued. It's not that simple, of course, and it's not always possible. Only under certain circumstances. When you feel a strange emotion, for example, I interact and remember how I saw him in the first time, the time when I didn't feel any emotion at all. Include the moment where you are feel happy, as if he was reading my thought. I see. So you are trying to say that there are several parallel universes, including the same camp with its inhabited, where I am replaced by you or that guy I met at the bus stop. Yeah, something like that. You read a lot of science fiction, aren't you? The answer didn't surprise me at all. In the end, it's clear that whatever happened here is beyond the limit of human understanding, and the theory didn't even seem all that unusual. Why? But you are said that everything recur? Yes, it recur. And what will happen afterward? You start from the very beginning. You wait on the bus, come to the camp, meet Olga, the girls, electronic. But if it's happened to you, then why should it happen to me as well? It happened to everyone. Once again, he laughed hysterically. And how many loops have you experienced so far? Wow, do you know what would be cool if it's like the one from Haruhi when she answered like 9,900 something, like a very crazy number? I stopped counting them already. At the first I tried to remember them though. Maybe a few hundred. Wow, a few hundred, okay? No wonder it was very clear to me that this guy was suffering from progressive mental dysfunction. Wow, one few hundred. Imagine we play this game few hundred times. Ugh. But you searched for a way out, didn't you? He didn't answer. That what that guy at the bus stop was talking about? Because he understands nothing, damn it. He shouted. Because he just like you, constantly running away, hiding. Well, what will you do suggesting? If I had any suggestion, I wouldn't be standing here talking to you. Wow, after a few hundred times, he have no idea. Like, there are no point. We stuck here. We stuck here forever. Alright, but you were trying, weren't you? Are you trying to understand what's going on? Are you trying to understand what I know? Since you've been around here from a long time. He asked cheerfully. Well, that event, yes, I didn't try to run away from here. There, he waved out toward the forest. Is nothing there. Nothing but trees. Where I had been walking there for several days and finally passed out, I found myself in the bus again. Same for walking along the road. It's endless. Talking to somebody about that is pointless. You probably already understand that by yourself. I did. I interjected. Even if you try to explain it to your situation directly, at best you will be just considered an idiot. What if you try to not leave the bus? It's pointless. Sooner or later you will be found. I even tried to spend the entire time there. In the end, I fell asleep and everything started from the beginning. I was thinking that the bus will walk eventually, but yeah. And what if you start it by yourself and leave? No keys, and I don't have any carjacking skills. A cursed circle. Exactly. A long silence fell. Finally I asked, and what about the people around here? Don't they raise absolutely irresponsible suspicions? Laughter again. The only thing that I suspicious about them is that no matter how much you tell them, they stare at you with their eye out of stalks. The people. I fear them at first too. Then I use them for different experiments. Oh shit, what you done? And now I don't consider them inhuman. They're all dolls, puppets. Shit. This is like Undertale, you know? Like the story of Undertale, like if you play the game over and over again, the characters are not character anymore. It's like, oh shit. You can easily predict you can easily predict any reaction, any word or action. So they aren't worth fearing, aren't they? The one worth fearing is yourself. He said softly, do you know how funny it is when human bones crack as they slowly break from distension? Look like he has finally lost his marbles. Listen, I understand everything, but the other one thinks that is a bit much too. But I don't matter. Nobody but you is real here. The pioneer suddenly fell silence. Well, no, I don't agree with you. You probably think why I didn't check this all myself, aren't you? Why I didn't try to reach the nearest village of town? Yes, I did have such a thought. Why wasn't I suspicious? Why was I doing different stuff instead of searching for answers? Well, yeah, forget about it. That's normal. We all behave like this for the first time here. But how many other have you seen so far? Not that many. The pioneer was lost in thought. About 10 people maybe. But I am sure there are many more of them. And? Is everyone like them? In fact, yes. Only the details are different, but the main thing is invariable. There's no way out of here. And by the way, you just like the majority of them. The one thing that's different is that you have heard everything from me instead of experiences yourself. I don't know if I should thank him or for that. Well, and what now? Nothing, he said shortly. What do you mean nothing? I closed my eye and I lost myself in thought. That was a critical mistake. He gone. When I opened my eye, I didn't see anybody, just like the previous time. So it's clear what's going on here now. But in fact, how could everything he said guide me to an answer? Yes, I'm not alone. Yes, everything recurred. But what's the reason for all this? And what is more important? Where's the way out? The only useful thing that I extract from this conversation was that the local inhabitants were not worth fearing. and that was quietly significant to me for now, since it was much better to sleep in warm cabin instead of forest. I turned to look my things and headed toward the camp. As I was walking to the conversation of my fellow suffering bobbed up in my mind every now and then. Why did I not ask him about the message on my phone? And some other stuff. There was hint after all. Maybe if I had found some detail out, I could have drawn some conclusions. However, it didn't seem like our meeting will be the last one. The lights were on, and all gathered in Verna camp. I opened the door carefully and went in. Look at this. Speaking of evil, here you are. The camp leader said arguably, Olga Tervena, I am so tired now, so let's put the lecture. Tired from what, I wonder? From everything. I snapped brightly. The camp leader looked at me with surprise. I fell into bed without understanding. Simeon, a role model pioneer, shouldn't behave like that. And how should he have behaved then? Well, not like that. The camp leader stammered a moment and struggled with making up the right word. He should respect his senior. I respect you immediately, for sure. Simeon, the sarcasm in my voice didn't go unnoticed. And now I'd like to sleep. Wait, by the way, how far is the nearest town? When does this bus arrive? How can I leave to get out of here? Whoa, I asked in a surprised, calm voice. There was no answer, and there should haven't been any. I said all this just in order to get rid of her. Why are you silent? I'm tired. Let's talk about that tomorrow. Wow, the camp leader get up and turn off the light. Yes, it is all just like this guy said. Why did I speak to her so calmly and probably, I wonder. I should have been shaming from her. That pioneer didn't have much credibility, but I had a feeling that he unable to harm me. As soon as I thought that it would be a good idea to ask something else, footage overtook me and I passed out. Day 7. We will end the episode here and see you next time, because wow, so many things happened in this episode. So